Good morning everyone, it's Tuesday morning, so it is time for our level 2 mat class, which is going to be quite a bit tougher than the level 1 mat class. So if you have any issues or injuries or long-term health conditions that wouldn't suit this type of exercise, I'd stick with the level 1 mat class if I were you. Also, if you're not really that familiar with some of the Pilates exercises and sort of what you're expected to do, because this is quite a flowing class, so knowing the exercises is going to be really helpful so that you can just enjoy it, listen to my voice, listen to the guidance, rather than having to turn and look at the screen a lot. Okay, so before we start, please do make sure you've got a nice, safe, clear working area today. I hope you're all feeling fit and well, and remember, during this class you are taking responsibility for your body and how it moves and what you do with it today, because I'm not there to correct and modify for you individually. So just tune in, listen to your bodies, and make sure that you're staying and working safely. Okay, are we ready for this then? I'm going to pop the music on and we'll get started. So before we begin, let's just create a lovely awareness of the body, how it's feeling today, what we need to do with it. Find the centre of the heel. Find even pressure across the ball of the foot. Lengthen out the toes. Softly lift the arches. And then activating through the legs, lengthening up through the spine as the pelvis comes into neutral if it wasn't there already. And I'd like to feel that length of the spine all the way up from the tailbone, right up behind the ears to the base of the skull. Relaxing the shoulders down, and then finding a gentle softness in the kneecaps. Focus into your breath, so a nice big full breath in. 360 all the way around, exhale. And this time, as you exhale, we're going to turn the head, so take a big breath in. Exhale, lengthen the neck, take the chin over the shoulder, breath in. Exhale to the other side. Inhale. And just see if you can do this without tilting the head. Can you stay with that head being really upright? And back to centre now. Let's take a tilt to the side. Chin in the centre, ear to the shoulder. Inhale. Exhale over to the other side. Lifting in the centre, just like we do with our core. Feel those neck muscles working. And centre, let's shrug the shoulders up. Open and roll them down. Now a little stretch over to the side, just a little reach and pull up tall. Activate your centre. Now let's take the arms slightly forward. I want you to just swing and twist. Now as you swing and twist, could you think about your shoulders staying level? The reason for this being, I do notice people do this a lot when they turn, when they pull one shoulder down. So that's just going to tighten your back. We want your obliques working. So think of keeping the shoulders level. That back shoulder stays high. Right, let's go straight into an arm float with foot pedals. Let's wake those feet up. Rolling through those feet. Enjoy that feels. Let's do one more each foot. And then let's just come into a little knee bend, hinge forwards. Take the hands onto the thighs, open the shoulders. We're going to tuck under as we exhale. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck under. So this is the pelvis moving. If you think of pushing the back of your hips away from you. And then from there, take the arms forwards. Think of coming out to a squat. Reach up. And round, backs to the head. Now into circles. Let's lengthen. Trace the nose in a circle. Let's go around the other way. Think of pulling that chin back and in. Now let's take fingertips to shoulders, lift, circle. Really rolling round, waking up those shoulders. And let's bring the arms down, feet together. Let's squeeze the knees together as we stretch over. Anchor through the lower body, lift up tall in the centre. See if you can add a breath in here. Squeezing those knees together. Could you think of aiming that arm to the back of your ear rather than your cheek? Let's do one more each way. Squeeze and lengthen. One more. And down. Now, let's take a knee lift. Let's step it out to the side and come into a squat. And straight back to your knee lift. Could you point those toes down towards the floor? Let's stretch and work that foot. Long spine, and we're keeping that chin nodded. One more and then we're going to go to the other side. So come into this squat. You're going to pick up the other foot, straight over to that other side. Stretch that foot for me. Really see if you can get that arch connecting. Point those toes down towards the floor. Feel that footwork. Roll through it as you land. And we've got one more. And then we're going to step back to hip distance. And we're going to take the arms forwards. Let's turn and stretch. And back. So shoulders are down. And we're keeping those hips fixed, because none of you have got a spinal issue who are doing this class. One more each way. Now, let's take the arms up, big arm circle, and round. Push away and down. Make that circle as big as you can. Reach through the fingertips. We've got one more. Okay, from there, let's step one leg back. We're going to flex the wrist just of that hand. You're going to push back. Push the heel away, push the heel of the hand up and away from you and back in. Push and stretch. Really lift that heel. That's it, lift it, lift it, lift it. And we're going to put that heel down. Now let's take a lunge forwards. Can you keep your heel down? And come back. Lunging forwards and coming back. Now let's stay here. Bring the arms down, just rest them onto your thigh. We're going to bend the back knee. Can you keep that heel down? Soften into it. Now let's hinge a little further forwards and just straighten the front leg. Soften down through both knees and push the legs straight. See if you can gradually go a little bit deeper each time. Can you take that chest? So think of taking the bottom rib towards your leg rather than your shoulders. Lengthen that spine, soften down, and let's push up an arm circle. Let's take those arms forwards. Okay, are we ready for a lunge with a bow and arrow? So let's hinge forwards. We're going to pull back and up. Pulling back. Now press down into that front heel. Okay, can we add in a bit of rotation now? Come down, can you turn and keep those hips level, shoulders level, and up. We've got one more. Now, push forwards. Let's lift the arms, extend that back leg. Heel pointing away from you. Let's lift and tap. Stretch that leg out. And let's bring it in, ready to go on the other side. So we're going to start with that step back. Flexing the wrist, push the heel down, push the hand up and stretch through the whole of that side of the body, through the front line. Stretch. Feels really good, this one. This is so good for waking you up and getting rid of all that tightness and stiffness. So we're working that foot as well. Really lift that heel. Okay, let's pop the heel down and take a lunge forwards. Can you keep that heel anchored? Now we're going to sit back, bend that back knee and up. Okay, this is where we're going to soften through both knees, take the chest towards the legs, straighten the legs. Down, so you can let your heel come off and then push the legs straight. Gradually going a little bit deeper each time. Into that stretch, soften, and let's take the arms up. Okay, into bow and arrow. So we're coming down into that lunge. Shoulders over toes, sink into that front heel. Now let's think about hips and shoulders staying level. As we add in the rotation, you're going to follow that elbow round. Come down and turn. And back up. One more. Pushing up. Let's come onto the toe. Lift the arms and lift and tap. Last two. And stepping in. Wonderful. We're feeling very wide awake and everything's moving now. So we're going to do a little bit of a dynamic sequence now, challenging your balance. Hopefully your core's nice and active. You're going to need it. So we're going to start hip distance. And we're going to take a little step forwards into a lunge, but let's start it with a knee lift, shall we? So we're going to pick that leg up and we're going to step down into a lunge. Now can you pick it straight back up again? Can you step it out to the side, come into a squat? Now I'm hoping I've left enough room behind me, I don't think I have. Up into that knee lift. And you're going to step it back, come into a lunge here. Now can we go forwards again? Pick it up, step it down. Pick it up, step it out. Pick it up, and step it back. Just let the arms flow. Okay, can we go a little bit quicker? Down and up, out, and up, back, and up, down, and up. Make it a sharp lift. See if you can get that dynamic balance. Down, and up, out, and up, to the back, and up, down, and up, woo, wobble, out, and up. That's what happens when you're not concentrating. Back, and up, forwards, and up, side, and up, to the back, and up, and step it down. Wonderful. Let's do that on the other leg. So start off nice and slowly. You might be different on this side, remember. Let's peel up into that knee lift. Stepping it down into that lunge. Picking it back up. Picking it back up. See, different on this side. Down into your squat. Picking it up. Back into your lunge. Picking it up. Nice and slow. And squat. And then we're going to the back. Step it back. Are we ready to go a little bit quicker? Okay, let's take it down and up, out, and up, to the back, and up, forwards, and up, side, and up, to the back, and up, forwards, and up, to the side, and up, to the back. This mat's a bit slippy, and up, forwards, and up, side, and then to the back, and up, and step it down. Fabulous. Right, it's time to come down onto the mat. So we're going to come down with a bit of a lunge. So I'd like you to take a nice wide lunge position for me. Just make sure that heel's pointing away from you. Tall spine, hips square, and let's just take a press forwards. Can you feel your hip open? We're going to gradually work our way down onto the mat. Now, let's hold this one here. I'd like to pull the arm in and open out. Feel the front of the shoulder open. Can you thread it through? Feel the back of the shoulder open. Stretch. And stretch. And stepping in. Okay, let's step it back. Again, same position. Have you got all your toes on the floor? Let's take that lunge forwards. Open the hip. Think of pushing the hip forwards. And this one, we're staying here. Let's open out. And thread through. Open out. And thread through. Last one. Now from there, let's lower down, untuck the toe. Now just make sure we've got a nice right angle here. Knee coming straight out from the hip, hips level, that's really important. Press down into the heel. I want you to feel like you're not on your back leg, you're on your front leg. Press down through that front foot. Let's take the arms, open the shoulders, lace the fingers. We're going to rotate. Breath in. As you exhale, stay tall. Can you turn? Nothing else is moving. Just a rotation of the body. Got one more. And down. Now let's step that leg a little further forwards. Come into your hip flexor stretch. Again, we're just going to ease into it. So we're going a little bit deeper now. I'm just going to move back a touch. Now, stay here. Let's take opposite hand down next to your foot. Okay, you're going to tuck the toes, push that leg straight. Can you lift and open? Hold that stretch. Bring it down. And let's take that leg back. Tuck the toes under. Hands forwards of the shoulders. We're going to sit back, so it's a bit like shell stretch, but you're working your feet, working those toes. And forwards. Bring it back. Now let's work the wrists as well. Can you push forwards and get a little flex in the wrists and come into semi-plank? Into the toes, into the wrists. Spread those fingers out, see if you can keep them anchored to the mat. We're just going forwards and back. So you can put some pressure down into those feet if it feels okay. One more. And back. So sit back, curl up. We're going to rise onto the knees and we're going to step the other leg forwards. Let's untuck the toes. Okay, we're stepping out, ankle underneath the knee. Everything square, hips level. Let's lace those fingers and put tall breath in. Exhale, we're rotating. So see if you can keep those fingertips in front of your breastbone so you know it's your body turning rather than just your arms moving. We've got one more. Are you keeping those shoulders level? Fabulous. Let's step that leg forwards. Come into our hip flexor stretch. Stretch and back. Last one, we're going to stay here and add in. So let's take that hand down, in line with the foot, tuck the toe. You're going to push that back leg straight and turn and open the arm to the ceiling. Hold. And bring it down. Wonderful. Okay, from there, we're going to come down onto the forearms. Elbows underneath the shoulders. I'm just going to come forwards a touch. Making sure you feel supported from underneath. We're not sagging and hanging into the back. Okay, let's push away from the floor. Strengthen that upper body. Let's stretch out and lift. Tap and lift. Is it all coming together now? Are we realising why we did all those movements before? Keep pushing away from the floor, strong wide shoulders. Now let's lift and hold this one. You're going to bend the knee, bring it in, let the spine curl, and then push it back out. Push. Curl it in and push it out. Try and have more movement in the pelvis than the shoulders if you can. And stretch that leg out. We're going to bring it down now, not all the way down. And you're going to squeeze it across, tap it behind the other leg, and then out to the side. Tap it across, and out. Are you stretching that foot for me? We've got one more of these little rainbows. Now glide the foot so it's straight behind you again. Let's pick it up, flex, and we're going to push up to the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. And just take a sit back to your shell stretch. Deep breaths into the back. Now we're ready to go forwards again. Let's lace those fingers. Push forwards, ready to go on the other leg. So let's start with our extension, lift and tap. Stretch that foot. Now you're going to hold this next one up in the air and you're going to come into that curl. So you're bending the knee, tuck the pelvis under, bring your knee forwards and then push it out. Inhale, exhale. Are you still over those elbows or have you moved back? Just check where you are. And one last one. Now, I'm going to lower a little again. Tap it across. Lift it up and over, out to the side. Tap it across. Watch for that head dropping down. Think of looking at that point between your elbows. Last one. Now glide that foot behind you. Let's lift and curl. And we're pushing up to the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring it in and back to your shell stretch again. Now, from your shell stretch, we're going to stay here. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder work. Okay, so just glide your hands into a V. Okay, so you don't need to look up, just listen to my voice. You know this exercise. We're going to pull one shoulder back, and can you lift your hand off the floor and down? Now, if you're in a shell stretch, you should have your ribs resting on your thighs. So see if you can keep them there. If one side's lifting, you're turning your body to get that hand off the floor. I want you to see if you can do it with those muscles in the back of the shoulder. Can you keep your ribs on your thighs? One more each side. Okay, let's curl up. I'm going to rise onto the knees. Okay, from there, let's lift and lengthen. We're going into a thigh rock back. So, pulling up tall. Get that awareness of rib to hip connection. Let's hold on to that. Are you resting on all your toes? Are you on your big toe? Are your heels in? Just check where you are. Okay, let's lean back. And come on. Lean back. Now if this is a bit too strong, make it smaller. If you're feeling it all in your back, make it a bit smaller. And if you're just squeezing your glutes, lift out of your hips a bit more. And up. Now give me an arm circle. Let's stretch up, stretch, and reach out. Now from there, we're going to open the arms behind us. I want you to sit back, just tuck the pelvis under, reach forwards, reach round. Okay, and then we're going to open out back, reach round. So feel the back opening up, shoulders opening. One more, lovely opening of the spine, and up again. Give me an arm circle, up and round. Now let's take the arms forwards. We're going back to the thigh rock back, this time with a bow and arrow. So we're going to rock back, pull one elbow back. Now what I'd like you to try and do is aim that hand to the side of your ribs and lift that elbow behind you. So it's not down here, it's up here. Let's get those arms working. Right to the side of the ribs. Okay, forwards and stretch up, big arm circle. Let's finish with the arms forwards. We're going to add in a rotation to this. So, let's bow and arrow and turn. And up. Try and keep your hips pointing forwards. Stay tall. Think lift round rather than pull towards the floor. Think aim behind you rather than towards your toes. So you're going to rotate away. One more. And back to that arm circle, stretch up, breath in. And reach out wide. And down. Wonderful. From there we're going to sit to the side. So we're going to come into propped. You can come all the way down if this isn't comfortable for you, but we're only going to be here for a little bit of a while. Okay, some of you might prefer a straight arm, but just see if you can stay here just for this stretch. So top foot, grab around the top of your foot near the ankle, and we're going to lift that knee in line with the hip. And can you take that knee behind you? Think of pushing the knee away as well. Now, just see what happens if you let that knee drop down. Does that feel like a better stretch for you? Depends where you need it most. For some of you that might feel more intense, for some of you that might feel more intense. So just hold it where you need it. And then we're going to release. Now we're going into the side leg kick. So, elbow right underneath that shoulder, palm down. Let's push away from the floor, activate this underneath side. And I'd like to bring the knees back a little so that they're almost in line. So you've got your feet behind you. Roll onto the knees. Let's lift that arm. Now we're going to lift the hips and stretch the leg out. So it's a strong breath out, push and kick. Fold in with control. Keep pushing away from the floor. It's like you almost don't quite land. Push and down. Last one we're going to hold if you can. Can you hold? Can you take that leg back, arm forwards? Reach and switch. Keep lifting. We've got one more. And fold it down. Just draw that underneath leg forwards. And we're going to push up. So now we're in on the walk. Let's take that hand slightly behind us. Settle the hips down. Let's lift the arm. Now we're going to sweep that arm across. Lift the hips. Can you turn your body and open your chest to the ceiling? And back down. Settle the hips. Lift and stretch. Just let that breath flow. One more. And down. Now from there, we're going to do some single arm push-ups. Keep your hips anchored. You're going to press into that arm and push away from the floor. So So you're thinking of taking your shoulder towards your wrist. Now this last one, you're going to stay in that bend. Stay there. Feel that you're pushing away from the floor. Top arm, circle it. 4, 3, little circles. 2, 1, other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now push forward, push up and up. Now we're going to take a little isolation to the side. Rib cage and up. That hip is staying still. Rib cage and up. We've got 2 more. Now take hold of the shin, stretch over and sweep the arm forwards and out. Okay, very well done. From there, let's turn, feet down, arms forwards. Let's take a curl back, just to the back of the hips, pull up. See if you can do this. Keeping the knees still, keeping the feet anchored. We've just got a couple more. And stretching up and round. Okay, let's come to the other side. Onto the forearm. We're starting with that lovely stretch. Let's take hold, lift the knee, and we're going to start to ease that leg back. If you feel it all happening up in your back, think of pushing that knee away. Holding it there, and then just see what happens, how it changes for you if you drop that knee down. And release. Okay, lengthening out, take the knees back a little. Let's roll onto the knees, push away from the floor. Arms coming up, we're ready for side leg kick. Reach that arm out and you're going to push out and kick. I knew I didn't have enough space. And we're going to push out and kick. That's it. We're holding this last one, remember. Hold. Take the leg forwards, arm back. And reach. Switch. And reach. Keep lifting. One more. And then fold it in. Wonderful. Right, from there, we're coming up, drawing that bottom leg forwards, taking that hand slightly behind us. Let's open out, sweep the arm across, lift the hips, turn and open the chest to the ceiling, and down, settle the hip. One more. Enjoy that stretch. Now, we're leaving that arm out into your push-ups. Bend and push up. Take that shoulder towards your hand. Keep that shoulder open. We're going going to stay in this last one. Stay, top arm, we're going to circle, 4, 3, 2, 1, other way, 4, 3, 2, 1, now take a breath in, exhale, push forwards and up, into this position, ribcage isolation, over and pull up. We've got 2 more. And then holding that shin, over we go into that stretch. And relax it forwards and round. And up. Wonderful. Okay, from there, we're just going to give those knees a hug in. Let's release over the knees. Get your breath back. And then coming back up now. We're going back to that seated position. And we're going back to that little curl back. Let's lift the arms, shoulders retracted, and let's curl back. And pull up. So I want you to try and do this without just pulling into the inside of the hips. Now, can you hold this one? Can you pick up one leg? And down. So we're going to go into toe taps now. Let's take the arms up. As you lift one leg, you're going to bring the opposite arm down. Keep lifting the chest, try not to collapse into your shoulders. Keep lifting. Are you shaking yet? One more each leg. Go on, you can do it. And reaching up. And circle round. Okay, we're going to take hold of one knee. We're going to curl back, extend the other leg. We're going to lift. Come back a bit further. Take the other foot off the floor. And we're going to switch. 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 Now this is a bit higher than we normally do it. We normally do it with the back on the mat, but we're at that balancing point today. Right across the back of the hips. Now stretch both legs out, lift up, hold, and hug in. Well done. Right, from there we're going to do a roll down. So if that's not appropriate for you, you don't want to, just come down safely onto the mat. But if you can, let's start at the pelvis. Keep the shoulders back, curl all the way down. Roll down. Take a stretch out. Haven't quite got enough room for a big stretch. And bring the arms down. Okay. So from there, we're going to take the arms up to pointing at the ceiling. And I want you to push for the ceiling and then pull back down, widen the shoulders. And we're going to take the arms out to the side. I haven't quite got enough room, so one arm's going to be a little bit crooked. That's okay. Now I'm just finding that I'm settled on the rib cage, across the pelvis. Now I'm going to développé one leg, so that means I'm going to draw it in and extend it up to the ceiling. We're going for leg circles. Anchor that pelvis, take the leg out to the side. How far can you go before your hip wants to lift? Circle it round. Inhale, exhale. Now think about giving your leg space to move in that hip socket. So keep reaching away. and up. Now from there, flex. We're going to go into bicycle, in and up. One last one, and down. Let's draw the other leg in. I know I'm going to have to come this way. Right, draw it in, let's stretch it up all the way to the toes. Think of settling the pelvis and reach out of the hips. Let's take that leg over to the side. How far can you go? Still not got enough room. Oh, that floor's cold. Round. And across. Don't forget to go across the body. So it's not a semicircle, it's a big full circle. Last one. Now up to the top and into your bicycle. In and push up. Bring it down and in. Push up. Last one, all the way down. And then we're going to bend both knees up. Okay, from there, let's open the shoulders. I'm going to come down the mat just a little way, actually. Right, shoulders open. Curling up into shoulder bridge, send those knees forwards. Now, hold it at the top. Can you take your arms over? Thumbs onto the mat. Now just retract your shoulders. Turn onto the back of your hands and just settle the shoulders into the mat. Can you curl down through that spine? Oh, how's that feeling? And over, and again, curling up. Push the knees forwards, lift. Take the arms up. Keep the shoulders down, long neck. Turn onto the back of the hands. See if you can roll down through the spine. And neutral, one more. Onto the back of the hands so you feel that width across the top of the shoulders. Curling down. And over. Wonderful. Right, from there, we're going to step the feet wide. Okay, quite wide. Take the arms just to where they're comfortable, palms to the ceiling, shoulders open. And let's drop one knee in. Make sure your hip stays connected, anchor through the hips. Push that knee away and up. Turn the other leg in. So feel pelvis is staying still. Anchor through the pelvis. Just rotate that leg. So don't worry if it doesn't go very far, particularly if you're someone who turns their legs out a lot. This might feel very alien and a little bit challenging. Now let's go for both. So they're going to go the same direction. So one leg's going to turn out, one leg's going to turn in. Breath in. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. from there, let's take one leg across the other, grab hold behind the knee, just come into that stretch. Now if you can keep head and shoulders down, straighten that leg, hold the calf. If not, just stay where you were. And release, let's go to the other side. Crossing over, pulling in. Try and relax into that stretch. And again, if you can, grabbing hold of that calf, extended leg. See, I didn't make you climb the tree this week. Be grateful for small mercies. And let's bring that in and down. Okay, from there, we're going to roll over to one side and we're going to push up. So coming back to that seated position, and we're going to swish those arms back. And then I want you to reach them forward, stretch over the legs, and then start to lift. Shoulders down, lift, and think about pushing your hands behind your head. And then release and reach out and down. Now from there we're going to come up into standing. So whatever way is safe and good for you, but if you can you bring those feet in? Can you push up into standing? We're back into that standing position. Now we're just going to soften down through the knees, take the arms forward, and we're going to swing one up and bounce up. So it's a softness and up. Just keeping a softness through the knees all the way through. One more. And all the way up. Open the arms. Let's go into windmill. Stretch over. Inhale. Let's exhale all the way over. This time with a forwards reach, let's come over and reach. Coming up and over and reach. And out now, soft knees down. Big breath in, stretch up. And exhale. Very well done. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you're feeling wide awake and invigorated, ready to tackle the rest of the day. If you're doing this later on, hope you enjoy it. Any comments, any feedback, gratefully received. If there's anything that I've not done in a class yet that you'd really like to see, please do let me know. All right, take care everyone.